We're here. Actually, I didn't set this one up. Is it good? No, they can't hear you. I'm gonna have to go to this one. There we go. We'll go to this one.
What are you looking up? You like have a monitor above you? I see you looking
yeah,
up.
yeah. I got
What
one
is
up
this?
there.
Like it's like a 72-inch screen, like just.
I got 4, man. I got 3 across down here and then 1 up.
Really? Okay.
Man. I forgot to set up my full face cam sources, so your audio is not going to be coming through there. So hey, how's everybody doing? We ready for another week of Game of Thrones season 8 episode 2 review? I hope so.
.com/something.
I feel weird. I'm not playing music. Feels weird.
Yeah. There's none of that.
I think HBO got mad at me for playing music last week. I don't know. They got mad at me for something.
It was my predictions.
Right. It's all podcast. I knew. Like, yeah. We don't need no background music, right? We're gonna be filling the air with our beautiful voices anyway.
Oh God. Yep, that's it right there.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
Oh, whoa, there we go. I see some dancing on the screen now. Is that
Yeah, man.
A second. Oh, it just went away.
Oh, it's man. OBS. Okay. I'm used to Streamlabs and it's like, where's my notifications? I'm not used to this kind of stuff during the Game of Thrones streams. Give me a sec. I'll find out who's doing the cool, amazing, supportive things here.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get the piece of business out of the way, right? Everybody here saw episode 2 from season 8, right? Because
if you didn't, you're in trouble.
Did I get that right? Did I say season 8, episode 2? Or
season 8.
Did I get that backwards?
I hope it wasn't season 2, episode 8. Of course, that was a great episode. That was.
I'm sure you remember the whole thing.
No, actually, I remember season 2, episode 9 was Blackwater.
Oh man,
don't remember off the top of my head what 8 was. I'm sure somebody does.
All right, I found him. I found who I need to thank real quick. So Karam, thank you so much. Donated $3.14. It says, "Hey, time for GOT." That's right. Thank you so much to Karam. Appreciate that. And I got some resubs in the house. I got Kajiro with a 2-month resub, and I got Mama Shay with a 2-month resub. Appreciate that. The continued support here on the channel. So thank you.
That is awesome.
RSC's trying to see if he's eligible for the resub.
All right, what are we doing here? What are we even here for?
We're gonna review some stuff. Should we jump into the slides?
Well, yeah, let's do that. We're gonna start with the title of the episode, and I tweeted about this earlier today, right? Like, I don't know why they're like holding back on the titles of the episodes, but they are. And the title of this episode, the title of this episode did not come out until after, well after the episode aired, which is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I think that's what it was, which is very fitting for what happened in this episode, And and I was telling Impulse, I'd love to hear people's opinions also in the chat, but I was telling Impulse, this episode has grown on me in the last 24 hours. It really has. Like, I've seen it twice, but it, when I got done with it, I'm like, it's a good episode, but it continues to get better for me as I continue to kind of look more into it. And as I was taking the screenshots for this, makes me think a little bit more about it. But I mean, this is an episode that was contained one location. I don't know how many times they've done the one location thing, but this was one location, which is, obviously there's not many locations left, but this one's really, really grown on me. It's not like my favorite episode, but it definitely is, up there for me in the top.
Yeah, I thought it was another one where it was like just a build-up episode, right? And but it had so many good ups and downs in it. I thought they did a really good job with making sure that like almost every character that was there had like a little moment, right? Little joke, little bit of some tears, some laughs, all that stuff. I think Evil tweeted that last night. I saw Evil Notion tweet that out, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it was for me too. So let's jump into it, yeah.
Let's do it, and we start kind of right where we finished off, right? We finished with Bran and Jamie, and we get right into the business, right? Yeah. Here he is, the Kingslayer. Look at all the guys behind him, by the way. Did you notice that?
No, you don't really pay attention to it, right? Because you're focused on him in the middle there. But
yeah, like if you remember, like from way back, I think it was like season 2 when they caught him initially. Like he had killed several people as he escaped the first time, and then he escaped again, obviously. But yeah, they've got like all the guards there just to like pounce on him.
That's what it's gonna take him down. Well, maybe back in the day one-handed, maybe not so much, but it was cool because this was they dove right into it, and it was like pre-episode. This was the conversation that like me and my wife would have. It's like, what do you think's going to happen with him? Because they have all the reason to just be angry and just slaughter him if they wanted right there. There's enough people there that would be fine with that, right? But at the same time, you didn't know if they were going to maybe embrace him, and you had no idea which way they were going to go with that. So this was like the most, thing I was thinking about all week long was what's going to happen with Jamie. So it was nice that they just started off right into it.
Yeah, I did not want this to, I didn't want to wait on this. I didn't want it to start with something else and have to like just wonder what in the world is going on with Jamie. But it was a great episode, a great scene because, you had, it starts with Dany, right? And she's talking about the history, right? With her brother talking about, hey, this is the guy who killed our father. What are we going to do with him when we catch him? Mm-hmm. And I think though, she has kind of known what type of monster her father was toward the end. So I don't know, if she was really, really angry at him, because to her, I'm sure he's a complete stranger. This is the first time she's ever met him. Well, not the first time. They actually met last year in the Dragon Pit. But still, it's kind of interesting. And then you got Sansa also there. This is a guy who she didn't like very much. She even pointed it out, right? What the things that he did. Mm-hmm. He attacked her father in the city. And what I love about it, though, is he was not going to apologize for what he did. Yeah. He owned what he did. And that's Jamie's character, right? Like he said, we're at war. What was I supposed to do? That's what you do when you're in war. And then, of course, Bran, just has to pop in there with his little shot. the things we do for love, right? Exactly.
Just Sammy. A little like, hey, I'm not going to forget about that, by the way. Yeah.
that was great. But you know what? I mean, because Bran, could have, hey, this is the guy who tossed me out of the window. But no, he was just there, wasn't going to really say much. Let this thing go on. And, you had kind of the three. Oh, and did you notice the what Dany called Jon when she asked for what he thought?
I did not.
She said, "What do you think, Warden of the North?"
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Little shot there. Little dig, if you ask me. Right. I am the queen. I am the one who's in charge. You're simply the warden.
Right.
So yeah, little shot there. I thought.
There's more about that a little later in the episode too, when her and Sansa were talking, right?
Oh God, yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll try not to last week Skizz was jumping us ahead because he didn't know what slides were on the deck. So
Skizz, who's Skizz?
Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, we should bring that up.
I wish I should have put together something like some sort of like picture of Skizz in a Hulu, or something. I don't know.
On the beach
with his mai tai, because that's what he always says. He's going to be on the beach with his mai tai. No, he's in Hawaii right now, enjoying himself. I'm sure he has no idea what happened in this episode anyway, because I doubt that he was able to watch it. So he's going to have some catching up to do when he gets back. I'm somewhat jealous about it because he gets to see
who isn't? The first time. That's one of the few things I would miss Game of Thrones for. It's a trip to Hawaii.
Yeah,
absolutely. So this next one. We included this picture of this next one, right? And some of you guys actually caught on to it, and I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. There's some people here, but True Socks mentioned it earlier, right? When this sword was handed to him, there's a couple things that's important about this scene right here. One, Jamie's theme music played, which is very rare. His theme music does not play very often. It's never been released on any of like the music that they've done. It's going to be released this year. But his kind of theme song, because the way that they do the music in this is every family has their own kind of theme and their own music, and certain people within their families as well have their own music. And so it was kind of nice. That kind of went up there. But when I saw this, what I thought, which was also in the actual comments here, this is the first time that ice has been back in Winterfell. If you remember, Ice, Ned's humongous longsword, right? Mm-hmm. Which unfortunately was used to decapitate him, was not burned, but it was reforged into two separate Valyrian steel swords. One that Joffrey got, Whittle's Whale, which is a terrible name, right? and then Jamie's sword. I can't remember just off the top of my head his sword. I'm sure that the chat will know, but Brienne has the other sword. Jamie has this one. And it just would have been nice if they would, obviously I think they showed it here for that. Oathkeeper, thank you very much. If they would have kind of mentioned it, you know, and maybe they will in the future, to say, hey, listen, you know, whoever lives, if anybody ever lives, who knows, this is what remains still of your father's, you know, of your family's sword. It wasn't just their father's sword, but ice was their family's sword. So I thought it was just nice that you kind of had this right here.
Yep, pretty cool. JP, thank you so much for the resub. 34 months. And Nightshade.
34 months?
Yeah, JP's been here for a long time. I appreciate your support. Look at this. All these embers raining down. Thank you so much, Nightshade. 1,250 embers. Thank you so much. That's just passing through. Thank you for Saturday. It was great. Nightshade, thank you so much. Appreciate the embers. Look at that. Just keep going.
I can't see anything. You're seeing something? It's not on your screen.
Oh, it must have just been on my channel, probably.
It's just on yours.
They were raining across the whole thing, man.
Couldn't see it. Good. That's awesome. 34 months is crazy, by the way.
Yeah,
that's just wow. That's amazing.
Coming up on 3 years.
34 months old. I know.
Oh yeah. All right, let's move on here.
Oh, hey.
Well, we're not going straight to that, but
I know we're not. Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Is it still teen rated stream?
Evil.
Still teen rated stream. Okay. Look at her sending those vibes. Look, you see the way she's standing, sending those vibes. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that.
Exactly, she absolutely is. Yes, look at that. You know, and she's coming there and she's following up. Hey, where's my weapon? Which I'm glad she did, because obviously I was interested in that weapon. I wanted to see what it was. We don't have a picture of it, but it was really just like, it looked like almost like a spear, right?
We got it somewhere.
Do we have a picture coming of it?
There. Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this guy he's got it all.
Well,
but yeah. Now what we don't
buttons.
see. Which I think, like to push buttons. Obviously, I think in the next episode we'll see the detachable end of it, so she can start killing some folks.
Mm-hmm. Did you see
that? But yeah, you know, it's good to see them get back together here. A little bit more of a conversation. You know, they've always had a great connection, these two. So I'm glad that, you know, they're continuing that.
Yeah.
And kind of the irony of the whole thing, and I know that you've seen a lot of this online if you kept up with this, but the parallels before kind of the first episode ever and then like the last episode, and it kind of continues into this, was that Robert Baratheon, you know, one of the reasons why he went to Winterfell is because he wanted to finally join the families, right? The Starks and the Baratheons. And the first choice was, hey, Joffrey and Sansa, which, you know, world's greatest couple. You're not, but I think it's actually going to happen if both of them live, right? That, you know, hey, listen, this is going to be the what binds their families together finally.
Mm-hmm. This was like their second date in Winterfell, kind of, right?
Yeah, it was.
Second date. Third one's a charm.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
you only had 2 dates with the Hound too, then I guess.
Man.
Yes, you are.
Look at all that! Look at all that dragon glass. You mentioned it last week that he had like figured out the way to forge it, right? Like it was tough to forge, and he was the only blacksmith or whatever that could actually figure that out. That's pretty cool.
And it also reminded me of the introduction, right? We didn't show the intro kind of the episode for obvious reasons. We don't want to, you know, have HBO come after you again. But it changed again this on this episode. I don't know if you noticed that, right? But the last episode, the White Walkers, as they went south of the wall, right, the little white tiles flipped over to blue like ice, and it surrounded the last hearth. This episode, it was coming up to Winterfell, and even Winterfell was different. It had some trenches around it, so some really cool stuff, right? And they're really tweaking that every single episode. It's got to be a little bit different. So
it's pretty cool. Like you just like, as soon as the show fires up and they get into that intro, you just get like on the edge of your seat and lean forward because you're just looking for all the new details that are in there. So I would have had to watch it like 100 times to catch the stuff that you caught. But yeah, it's cool.
Yep. Absolutely. Collapsing bridge. Yep. You know, and you're going to see a lot of pictures of Jamie. But this was kind of like the Jamie episode, at least the first half of it really was. But this conversation, right? I'm glad they went to this. It was important, right? They met in in Winterfell there, but you didn't get the words at the end of the episode. So it was nice to see these guys come together here a little bit and talk it out a little.
Yeah, this is where Jamie was saying some interesting things to Bran about how that moment of him pushing him out the window is what actually kind of turned him around, right? He started like figuring out how to be more noble after that, like he was repenting in a way, right? That's where that conversation happened, right? Was in this scene,
Yep,
I believe.
exactly.
And so that was interesting to see. And then he says something about, what's going to happen when this is over, and and Bran was like, how do you pretty much how do you think you're still going to be alive when this is over? Like,
yeah, how do we know any of us are going to,
right,
get out of this alive? Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like, Bran's scenes, he's going to have a lot of scenes here. Obviously, the next episode, right where he is, right? He's probably just going to be just chilling right next to the Godswood for the next episode. So he's going to get cozy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, in the chat there, Sammy's saying it's so hard to tell if Bran can see the future or not. I agree. From everything that I've read and in the books and stuff, right, really can't see the future, but maybe they're just so good at seeing everything else that they can kind of predict a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can see the present and you can, what do they call it, warg or something like that?
Well, he wargs into different animals.
Yeah, so I wonder if like he's able to get enough visibility of what people are up to that he can deduce what's happening, where they're going with it. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah, I don't know that he can necessarily see the future, because if he could, he'd just be like, oh well, yeah, this is what's going to happen. They're going to come in like this, so you guys should probably retaliate like this, And you don't see any of that from him. Like, as far as all he's done is say, I know that the king's coming after me, and so let's make me bait or whatever. But that's only because of what he's been told, right? That the three-eyed raven, that's where he's going for. He's the target. So,
yeah, I think, I think part of it is, he's not Bran, right? He is the three-eyed raven. I think part of that download that he has ingested, right, from going into the werewood net, if you will, I think he has become all the previous three-eyed ravens, right? And so Mkbean 1990 said, right, when they asked Bran if dragonfire will kill them, and he's like, no one's ever tried that before, right? So obviously this has happened in the past, right? This battle has happened in the past, so who knows what's going to happen with this. And yeah, and even Evil Notion, he's got something in there, one of the quotes, you'll never fly again, but you'll fly. Obviously, you've got the ravens that you're like, oh yeah, of course, he's going to be flying. But that's my thought too. What about a dragon, right? Can he warg into a dragon? Because that would be really cool.
That could be interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got next here. Oh, yeah, more Jamie.
More Jamie.
This is a good one. This is a good one. I was like, these two together, they're such a cute couple.
They are, right? I think obviously, Brienne is definitely in love with Jamie, but probably not in that way, right? She just told that's, she respects him, she stood up for him, right? Yeah. He would not be there without her stepping up in that first slide that we had.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, he saved her, right, from getting raped or whatever, and because of it lost his hand, like she said in the first scene when she stepped up to save him there. And that was interesting. She put herself out there, and then and Sansa was like, okay, well, I trust you. If you trust him, then okay, so be it. So, not to jump back in time, but it was all Brienne there saving him. So obviously she's got a deep, feelings for him, for sure. Whether they're, what kind those lead to, I don't know, but maybe we'll find out. or maybe one of them's gonna die next week. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Who knows? We'll talk about that a little later. But going back to that first image that we had, though, it was kind of interesting because once the conversation was over, Sansa got up and left. Jon got up and just like ran out the room because he's like, this is awkward.
Yeah, he wanted to get away from Dany. Yeah, he was definitely
kind of like,
yeah,
what's going on here? Where's everyone going?
He was avoiding Dany like the plague the entire episode until towards the end. But jeez, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but it's not right. He's saying, hey, listen, I'm here. and I'm also here. I want to fight for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be under your command. And oh man, I'm really worried. I'm concerned about what's going to happen in this next episode. This slow leading up to it. This was not a filler episode. I think all of these conversations had to happen. There's one conversation that I wish happened and it didn't. At least it didn't on air. And that was the conversation where Bran and Tyrion were together. And I can't remember if I got a picture of that, but that's one that I really, really wanted to happen on camera. Yeah. Oh, I see what I'm saying. They're all good scenes. It's amazing, right? It's just, she comes in there and everything's just like, so we're doing so good. You know what I mean? And this is where she's talking about who's manipulating who. I love your brother. Yeah, there's my bestie prediction. Exactly, Mama Shay. Exactly. They're going to be besties. But then, and I trust me, I was screaming that in my house, by the way. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Really?
My significant other, she was like, will you shut up? Trying to watch the show. I'm like, they're going to be besties. I know it. And, Sansa, she is a player. She is a player in the Game of Thrones. Yeah. And she asked that question, what about the North? What about the North? We have been free now, right? We fought. We got our freedom. What are you going to do about the North? And Dany had nothing. Yeah. There was crickets, I think, in the background.
Yeah. She wasn't going to make any promises because she wasn't really willing to give that up yet, right? So what could she have possibly said that was going to, not make things worse there? But I had a hard time reading this scene as well. I think Evil said he did too. You did. I felt like maybe that Dany was acting here. So you remember right before this scene, Dany got a visit from her advisor, the guy that had I always forget his name, the guy that had the disease that he was about to die, and then Jorah, thank you. So Jorah had visited Dany right before the scene, right? And he's like, I was wondering if you would be willing to take some of my advice, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And they didn't really say, I think they said part of what his advice was, but yeah, there's something else you need to do, and they cut the scene right there. And I think for me, what I filled in those blanks with was you need to go make peace with Sansa.
That's what I think it was too.
And so that's why I felt like when this scene happened, that Dany was acting, and she was kind of a little bit over the top nicer than she usually is. And so I feel like Sansa saw through that. And that's why at the end, she was just like, oh, this was a great talk, but what about us? What are you going to do about us when this is over? You know what I mean? Like, because she wasn't buying it the entire time. So that's how I felt that scene was being played out. I'm not sure they're going to be besties, to be honest.
I know. That makes me so sad. Okay. I want them to be besties. I do, right? I want them to knit things together. And I mean, they're awesome rulers is what they are. They could be a
powerhouse if they work together, for sure. But I don't know. I think there was still tension there behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's I think so, right? Like you said, I totally agree with you. And if Jorah Mormont, he's a northerner, right? Even though he was, in exile, but he is a northerner. So I do think that's what it was. Make peace with the Starks here. Mama Shay's got it right. Sansa's totally the smartest person. Not Tyrion, not Cersei. I think she's smarter than Tyrion. I think she's proven that now, and maybe smarter than Cersei because she knows the games that she plays now. And Cersei's just kind of backed herself into a corner, doesn't trust anybody. So I don't know. I think it's her.
Yeah.
No one is smarter than Peter Dinklage.
Nice one, film guy. Yeah, and now Tyrion is starting to doubt himself too, right? Because he's had a few slip-ups, and I think that his confidence is a little shot, and he's afraid to make any more wrong decisions, which is gonna be tough for him to, because he's gonna overthink things, I think, moving forward. So
yeah, but like George said, right? Everyone's got to make mistakes, but yeah, he's misread some characters that he should know. He should know how manipulative his sister is.
Right.
He didn't need his brother come in there to tell him. So. Yep.
And then luckily Theon walked in the
Convenient
door.
timing.
Because Dany was like foot in mouth, right? And then so she must have, I don't know who was more happy to see Theon right now, whether it was Sansa or Dany, because, she didn't know what to say. So, but this reunion was interesting because I had kind of forgotten about how strong they had of a bond, right? When they escaped Winterfell, what was it, 2 seasons ago now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I had forgotten all about that, and they embraced like that. I'm all, whoa, what's that about? Like, I don't remember them being, oh yeah, okay. It took me a second.
Yeah, it's a great scene, and even later on, and I don't have a picture of it, but there was the scene of them, both of them in the kind of the courtyard eating together as well, right? It's like they were catching up even more. It's like, all right, it's the night before all this is going to happen. Who are you going to spend that time with? And she chose to spend it with Theon Greyjoy, which is an interesting thing, right? I mean, he's another one of those characters who've had this amazing arc that's not done yet. Unfortunately, probably going to end next episode, but yeah, I mean, it's there's some amazing character arcs, amazing writing of characters too. That's what I really love about this story, is the depth of characters and how they can change over time.
Right. Yeah. There was a lot of emotion in that hug, and that was cool. If I wasn't so confused, I would have maybe teared up a little bit, but I was just like, wait, what?
And I know he was in a scene later on with Bran, but has he ever, I mean, before this, did him and Bran ever, have they seen each other since, like, way back when? I don't think they did, right? And so it kind of, I guess it would have been kind of nice to see that kind of reunion.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I wonder if they wanted to stay away from like too many reunions, like 2 shows in a row, 2 weeks in a row of just reunion after reunion. Maybe there's like, okay, let's just we'll let that one go.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna limit this episode to 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Here's one of my favorite characters from the books and even the show. This, just Sir Davos Seaworth. He's just an amazing actor, or not actor. That's the character, but. What's great about it here is if his kind of backstory, right? He's from Flea Bottom, and he came from nothing, became Hand of the King with not Renly, but Stannis, and here he is just feeding the common people, right? Because he is not above any of that. He is here to help out whoever, and then that little girl comes up, and even my significant other, she's like, is that the little girl that they burned? Is that her? I'm like, no, that's not her.
Right?
Yep, she looked just like Shireen, right? She had a burn. It wasn't grayscale. It was just her face was just burned, right? But and then Gilly came up to kind of help with that conversation as well. Hey, you can be brave and help protect us in the tombs. Mm-hmm. I saw the weirdest tweet today. It was literally from the official CIA Twitter account. There was a guy in line getting food who was like a previous director of the CIA who was an extra on the show.
Really?
And so the CIA literally tweeted out about it, and he like replied back saying that they blew his cover.
That's funny.
What is going on here when the CIA is getting involved in Game of Thrones?
Oh man. Old school saying that the actress that plays Gilly is pregnant.
Is she really?
Wow. I think my wife mentioned something like, "Oh, she looks a little bigger than she did before." So maybe.
I wasn't going to say anything. I've learned to be respectful.
Maybe
I'm not going to say, "Are you pregnant?"
Maybe they've been in some great locations and she's been enjoying the food. I don't know. I'm not going to judge.
To me.
I'm the last person that should judge anything like that. But anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, that was cool to see. Him having that little flashback of how he was with the Baratheon girl Shireen.
Yeah.
And then the way he treated this little girl in line who just wanted to be brave. The little girl wanted to be brave.
She wanted to fight.
It was so cute. All right, let's move on.
Oh my gosh.
Tormund.
This, did you expect
Guy-
that? You're like, hey, we're gonna get a great hug scene here, and then
He just, he just jumps in the middle of it. Like,
he
oh man,
is amazing.
he's funny.
He is amazing in this character. He really
Yeah,
is.
he's
He's got
hilarious.
him down. Every scene he is in, he steals. I mean, I think he even asked for the big woman again while he was here.
That was
I mean,
great. Is a big woman around here?
Those eyes.
Like, does he not know her name? He has to call her the big woman. Like, that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. Oh, man.
It was great. But, it was great because here you got the reunion also of Ed and Beric Dondarrion. They've come back, right? That they were able to make it. And what's crazy, because this is where they say, yeah, you've got maybe through the night before they're here.
Mhm.
And it's like, whoa, we got to get moving. We got to get moving quick because the dead is coming. Yeah, but look at that. I mean, even that picture, right? I mean, I think John's like literally in real life, Kit Harington is laughing at this scene. I mean, that's a genuine smile.
Yeah.
It really is.
He's probably definitely holding back from busting up. In fact, they probably had to do this scene like 2 or 3 times.
Exactly. I wonder, it would have been great if they would have just improv this whole thing, right? Just say, hey, you're gonna meet Ed and you're gonna meet Beric. They're coming back in, and then he just kind of just comes in, just improv. That would have been great.
Yeah, for sure. That was a funny scene. Oh, and then we go to the war table, right?
Yeah, the War Council.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these people here, these are all like, major and minor characters. I mean, every single person in here. You've got Dothraki in the top left-hand corner. You've got, what's that guy's name? Jon Royce. Jon Solid is there too. But next to the left top, that's the guy from the Eyrie, which is really weird because it started to make me think, like, were they not going to cast the boy anymore? Is he just too old that they're not going to cast?
All right.
Gosh, what was his name too? I'm losing it.
can't
Thank
remember.
you, Robin. Man, I'm just out of it today. Robin Aaron.
And you got little Mormont girl. What's her name? In there too, right?
Yep, they got her. Then you got
Lyanna. Thank you. I'm so bad with names. That's like, anytime we go to do this recap show, I'm just like, I'm not going to remember anyone's name.
You got Davos, Tormund. Who is in the bottom? Beric Dondarrion. Then you got Jamie, then Brienne, and I think the girl here, is that Sansa there? No,
she's across.
Sansa's at the back.
On the other
so
corner,
next to Brienne, is that
It
one
is.
girl who they also? Yeah, Alice Karstark. That's who I'm thinking it is too.
Okay.
Then you got Theon, you got Sam, you got Bran in the dark corner there, just kind of chilling out by the fire.
Looks like he's in the fire. Jeez.
I know. I don't know if there's anybody between him and Jon. Sure, there's a lot of open space there, but there might be on purpose for that one. But I mean, you've got so much. Here's the thing. I want to go back to this when we're done. Okay, Impulse, because I want to do the unthinkable. I want to do the who's going to live.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Exactly, McDean.
Oh,
Exactly. I want to know from the. We're not gonna do it now. I don't want to hear anything. Okay. Don't put it in the chat. Nothing. But the next episode, there's going to be some people no longer alive in this picture.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure we're going to get quite a few deaths next episode. I would expect it at this point.
Here's the second date.
This is. Was she just trying to decide who she wanted to. Never mind. Jeez. Teen rated today. Yeah.
I'm so glad, though. I'm so glad that they didn't just end it at the first reunion of these two, right? I'm really glad that they got a little bit more time together.
Yeah.
Her questioning him, why are you really even here? You know what I mean? What I thought would have been funny, and this is why I'm not a writer, is it would have been really, really funny if that was water. And then she spits it out because, he's always looking for a beer. He's always looking for alcohol. And then, I thought that would have been pretty funny if she would have got that and be like, what are you drinking? But yeah, their reunion. And he came in a little bit later, Beric Dondarrion, right, to sit down with them as well, to talk to him a little bit.
I think. I was going to say, I think if you look at the two characters, right, they were on different ends of the spectrum when they met. And they've kind of done this deal, right? where now she's the
Mhm.
savage where he was when they met, and now he's kind of like softened up, and he's there for just for the right reasons and things like that. So interesting to see that take place, and I wonder like what they actually like think of each other now that they've seen that shift happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, total redemption is here. What's going on? But I think he was probably the most honest and brutally honest person with her. Like, listen, if you're going to survive in this world, you're going to have to kill a few people, and she understands that now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, right? Some people in this fantasy world don't get that, and they end up dying. So let's see if there's a third date.
We'll see.
Oh,
I think she's a little busy.
Dates.
Yeah.
So Impulse, come on, let's just get right to it. How did you feel about this scene?
I didn't feel right at all. I felt so icky.
I felt dirty.
I was like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this because in my mind, she's still the 12-year-old girl we saw in season 1.
Exactly. I know she's 20 years old or however old she is. I understand that. She is a beautiful woman. Absolutely. And again, I shouldn't talk while I'm watching this because it just distracts from, whoever's with me. But I'm like, no, don't, no, gosh, no. She was just a little girl. And it's not that listen, I understand she's a woman, she's an actress. And it's one of those things like when you watch a show with like a child actress and then you see like a show when they're an adult and they do like a nude scene or something, you're like, it's just not right.
Yeah.
Again, great scene though. It really was. It was just like you have so much invested. It's like she's my little sister. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it was like for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Felt a little weird. I mean, I understand. Yeah. She is of legal age and all that stuff in real life and even in the show. But yeah, it still didn't feel right because we watched her grow up. So felt a little weird.
Sammy's got a great line here, guys. It was the most consensual, least icky sex scene in the show. Absolutely right. Most of the time someone's getting raped or there's multiple people or it's just terrible what's going on here. You're right. This was like literally the most legit, like this is how a love scene should be. It's just that your little sister in the scene. That's the problem.
What did she say? I'm not the red woman. You can take your own pants off or whatever. That was great.
What I thought she was doing right when she was asking these questions, how many have you been with, right? I thought she was kind of playing the lying game with him, and she was going to tell him that, no, you're lying. Maybe, she slaps him a couple times because she can tell when someone's lying to her. So,
yeah. Wow. It was, that one caught me off guard, but you know what? Is she worried? She's worried she's gonna die the next day. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to go out like that. I understand. Good for her.
Here's the deal. This is one of my predictions from last episode, where eventually these two were going to get together. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but hey, again, you're on potentially the last night ever. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I think we talked about it last week, right? With King or the Baratheon and Ned when they had talked, in season 1 or whatever about their houses coming together someday, right?
Yep.
And so, boom, maybe she'll be carrying a Baratheon inside of her by the end of the season. I don't know.
If they live, you never. Maybe, and he gets legitimized. He becomes a Baratheon. Mm-hmm. They take the bastard title off, just like it did for Jon.
Could be. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Oh brother. Oh, brothers.
This was the start of a great scene.
Yeah.
You got the two brothers just kind of sitting here. Tyrion, typical, drinking the night away. Talking about things, talking about the past and all that stuff. And wow. Yeah, I wish Father was here, right? Could you imagine that? Jeez.
Right.
If Tywin Lannister was there. I saw a picture of Tywin Lannister the other day too, wearing a Targaryen shirt. That was weird.
Really?
Yeah. That was weird.
I saw the actor in another show or movie I was watching, and it felt weird. I'm like, I don't want to see you in anything else. You are who I remember you as being.
Exactly. It's kind of like Harry Potter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Radcliffe, you can play nothing else but Harry Potter. You will always be Harry Potter. And a lot of these actors, Kit Harington, sorry, buddy, you're Jon Snow.
It's gonna be
Amelia
tough.
Clark, you're my wife. I claimed her first.
It's gonna be tough.
I claimed her.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Was he really in the Dracula movie? Really? He's a good actor.
Charles
They're
Dance,
all-
is that his name?
Yeah.
Tywin. Okay. Yeah, this scene just got better and better though. Like you said, it was. Did we jump any or
No,
we...
I didn't have it kind of with every. So yeah, I hate to kind of jump to this because there's so much that happened kind of before this.
There was because the moment where he was talking about why he was called the giant. What was he? What was his
Giant's
name?
Bane.
Giant's Bane. Yeah, and he's that whole story and. The way Brienne was looking at him during it, she was absolutely disgusted by that story. You know, that was funny. I wish we had a picture of her look when he was telling the story about the giant,
Giant's
thinking
milk,
it's her baby.
so
And
strong.
yeah, he was, oh my gosh. And then he drinks the milk from the thing and it's like, oh my gosh, so gross.
Going everywhere. I brought my own. Oh. It was great.
But yeah, Brienne's look was perfect. She was just looking at him like, yeah, that's disgusting. Like that's the worst thing I've ever heard. Like, come on, dude.
And she comes in with Pod. I think I think the next one's random Pod, and Sharon's like, hey, let's have a drink, No, and she's even telling Pod not to drink, and of course,
Yeah.
he takes a drink, just a half a cup. Of course, it was overfilling.
Yeah. Got that.
Great look there, and then. That's when Davos came in there, getting warm by the fire, just the conversations. And then, Tormund comes in there. And, and that's when he brings up the whole knight thing, right? He's, he thought that she was a sir. He thought she was a knight, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just, to me, this was such an emotional scene right here.
Yeah, this one got me. This one, I almost dropped a tear or two.
Yeah.
They were close. They were right on the edge.
Yep, exactly. If I would have blinked. Ooh, no, it was just great, and Knightser, and that's of course where the title of the episode comes from. She became a knight of the Seven Kingdoms, right? And now some people are saying, again, now I have not actually read the Dunk and Egg stories. I don't know if you have or not, Impulse.
Nope.
But there's some short stories out there, and some of them are saying that one of them was actually called that. That's what the name of the book was, and they're saying that there was some ties to Duncan and actually the Tarths. So I'll have to read that now, all because of this one scene. I'm going to have to read 3 little short stories, which are not short if it's George R.R. Martin.
Right.
Yeah, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Yep.
Yeah, it was cool to see Brienne smile. Like, she's truly happy in that moment. She did a great job with that.
Yeah, okay, so Sammy's got it there, right? Some type of relative, so that's good. Again, that's not spoiling it by telling us what the title is. I like to know what the title of the episode is so I can kind of try to guess what's going to happen from that.
Yeah, it feels like it shouldn't have been too much of a spoiler. I mean, maybe people could have guessed, but I think it would have been fine.
Exactly. Yeah, evil, exactly. I don't want to be a knight. I can do it. Okay. Right? She changed her mind quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I kind of caught that. I was like, but you knew when she said, I don't want to be a knight, that she was totally just putting on a show for
I think she's just kind of come to the realization that, hey, listen, this just doesn't happen here. Mm-hmm. It really would have been cool, because what happens, this happens a lot before battles in this universe here. People are knighted, and a lot of times they're knighted afterward, right? But it would have been really cool if after this she would have knighted Pod, Yeah. But of course, maybe, I don't know. Pod needs it too. Dang it.
He deserves to be knighted. Do you hear how amazing his voice was?
Oh,
he got himself a nice little song there. Yeah. Everybody thought that the girls loved him because of something else. I think he was just singing. He was just singing to him. That's why they all loved him so much.
He was singing all right. Yep. He's not been a squire long enough to be a knight. Well, again, if he lives the night, He'll do it. That was a guy. I couldn't believe it though. Yeah, his voice, that was pretty amazing. You're right. That
yeah.
Oh man, really good.
Yeah, Evil dropped you a whisper, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I saw that coming. Oh, yeah, this was a really cool scene. This scene to me had everything. It had humor. It had, you know, the tears, just joy. It had a ride of emotions that took place in one room. Was really cool. So.
And that's what I'm saying. Like before this, you know, you had which is great because they're talking about what they. You know, we didn't even talk about that. So, oh my goodness, I got to go back. the whole plan, right? Like, how are we going to do this? Jon saying, yeah, we kill the Night King, we can kill them all. Mm-hmm. And Bran saying, you know, I'm not going to be in the crypts. I'm going to be in the Godswood. And Theon volunteering basically to say, me and my Ironborn are going to guard you. And Bran was okay with it. And I was a minute back apparently here.
There we go.
But Bran was okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew again kind of what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And I really
he knows Theon needs redemption.
Yep. And I've always said,
so he's going to let him have it.
He's going to get his redemption. That's what happens in this show, right? For these type of characters. It's happened with Jamie, it's going to happen with Theon. Yeah, it's going to happen. And that's going to be where the battle is. And of course it's got to be Jon and the Night King. It's got to be that, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Unless it's Arya. That's the only other person I could think of is Arya.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of like the battle at the Tower of Joy. That was the one scene where Ned and his buddies went to go get his sister in that epic sword fight. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember that one or not. The dual wielding. Of course, you never dual swords in the book, but whatever. It was an awesome scene. Maybe it's going to be like that because it was maybe he's going to be fighting the Night King and she's going to come up behind him and kill him. Got to take a white face, you think, huh? That's an interesting comment there too. Can she take a white face?
It is odd because I forget which scene she said it in, but she said she wanted to see another face of death or you know,
yeah.
Death wears many faces. Yeah, she wanted to. It was almost like she was looking forward to seeing these White Walkers because she wants to see another face that she's never seen before. So that was interesting. Like what is she gonna do with that? You know, there's a reason why she's excited about it in a way. Oh, Evil says, okay, I have a question for you guys. I have to interrupt. Do you think the next episode is the end of the winter? There are only 3 episodes after it to wrap up everything. I do think that the next 3 episodes are going to feel like 3 movies, and it's going to be just go through them. But the end of winter, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, I mean, because the White Walkers bring winter, and so yeah.
If they
I think the next episode, by the
way,
I think the next episode will be called The Long Night. That's what I think it's going to be called. But I do. I think if it's not the end of winter, it's the battle is definitely going to be done. Let's be honest. The White Walkers are going to lose. It's just what's going to happen. How it's going to happen, I don't know. Who lives, I don't know. But you're right. At that point, the final 3 episodes are basically then, okay, we've got to take the battle south now. So I do think it will be the end of winter. Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. I'm not so sure. We can talk about theory for next episode, but I'm not so sure that all the White Walkers will be dead at the end of the next episode. That's my prediction.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I think that there will be 1 or 2 key ones left. Well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll go back.
Yep.
See if I can find our way back here.
And
there we go.
Oh, I had to throw my little girl in here, right? She's such a bad girl. She's awesome. She's telling her cousin what she's going to do. Mm-hmm. And she had her entourage there. You see that when she walked away? She had her entourage with her. She had like 6 or 8 guys just, all right, this is our lady, and we're going to protect her. She's not going to make it.
You feel like a lot of this week was to almost like give the characters one more moment in the spotlight, because
absolutely, yep,
that's it. That's, you know what I mean? And it could be more for, you know, also the actors and actresses themselves, right? Like, here's your last lines. Better go do them, because next week
this is your send off. Yeah, exactly. Because your last words are going to be like, ah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we haven't seen her fight. I think she's obviously going to be a really good fighter.
She'll make a dent. She'll make a good dent before she goes out, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, I think you start thinking about which characters are kind of expendable at this point, and yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure this is in the next slide, but I think what happened next, I don't know. Yeah, let's go back to the other one. So, Sam come out and give his family sword
to
Heartspan to Jorah. Yes, which was great, right? Because he's like, hey, listen, your father was a huge, you know, influence to me, helped me out a ton, and I mean, that sword was huge. It was almost as big as ice. That was like two-handed.
Sam said, I can't use this thing. I can't even lift it up. That was pretty good.
Yep. But yeah, that was it was nice, just that kind of fitting that he's going to give him that sword. Another one of those maybe send-off moments, though. I don't know. We'll see.
Could be. I'm a little worried about Jorah, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Then we get to the crypts.
Yeah. So the whole show, you're seeing Jon avoid Dany, and you're wondering, is he ever gonna actually tell her what he knows? and then how's she gonna take it? And finally, right, this is where it happens. Finally, he tries to tell her, and her response was interesting. You know, I actually liked what she said. So your best friend and your brother told you like the greatest secret in our world, and you believe him? How come this big of a secret is only known by these two people who happen to be your best friend and your brother? So totally, like, her reaction totally made sense. Like, people could just be telling you this because they know you want to hear it or whatever. But yeah.
So how do you convince her then? How do you convince her?
I don't know. I mean, I think she should see those signs, right? Like, he rode the dragon. Hello. I don't know.
Yeah, he rode the dragon, all right. I think, I think Bran has to play a factor in this. I think Bran has to be like, you've got to believe what I say, because I'm going to tell you about things about you that only you know about, right? I think he's got to show her who he really is for her to believe what's happening here. So I think it's important. Again, when your best friend and your brother are sticking up for you, you know your girl.
How's Bran going to show her? It's not like he's got a projector attached to his brain.
No, but he can say, listen, I can tell you about, I can tell you what happened to Khal Drogo. I can tell you what happened to all these things that she has intimate knowledge about that maybe nobody else does.
Prove some points that would make it obvious that he
is that even possible? He was in another country, right? Mm-hmm. There's no werewoods, or there's no werewood trees over there. Is that where he has the ability to see through? So I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because they're both surviving this next episode. If they don't, wow, I'd be shocked.
I think they'll both survive. Character shield. That's what it's called. They have a character shield. They have plot left in them. So yeah, good moment there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where that's going to go from here. I think if she'll accept it eventually, or how that's going to play out, it's going to be interesting to watch. But it didn't really matter, because they didn't have too much time to mull it over, because next thing you know, somebody's on their front lawn and TikTok, it's time.
Yeah,
right?
There was quite a few White Walkers, right? You didn't see any of the whites. You just saw the White Walker lined up. An official count, but I always wondered, like, how many of them are there? Mm-hmm. It's just we're we're gonna find out here. They've got their army of the dead. Obviously, you're gonna send in the battle first, and then they're gonna come in and start just taking people out. We're gonna finally see it. It's just gonna be an awesome.
This is gonna be a very
episode.
long week. Like I'm so ready for this next episode. This episode did a perfect job of just making me want the next episode right now. You know what I mean? So
Crossed our family photo. I wonder if Gilly's gonna be like, my brothers. I wonder if they're gonna have like little whites, like little White Walkers.
oh man.
Right? Are they bringing the little guys with them? And here's the thing, right? So they always talk about this, right? They say, okay, if you kill the White Walker, all of those other guys die. Okay, fair, sure. But what about these guys, right? Are they also linked to the Night King or not? Because they're a little different, right? Are these his children? And I don't think all of them are. So that's what you said, Impulse. Or maybe this isn't completely over, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because these are special people right here. I don't know what in the world they are, but I mean, obviously, some of them are Craster's son. Age to the age at the same time as us. This is what we're never going to get answers for until the books come out, and who knows if we'll get the answers then either.
And that was the last one we had. That was like the last scene of the episode. So
Yeah, it
then
was.
the next thing that happened was we get this preview of episode 3, which seemed pretty short. Didn't expose a lot, I don't think, but we have it, and we'll just skip through some freeze frames of it, I suppose. So
Yep.
let me see if I can pull that up for us. There we go. And I'll put this in.
Ooh, HBO. Ooh.
This was, yeah, they own the replay of mine from last week. They basically just said, nope.
Not going to do it.
So what was difficult I thought about this is how dark everything was.
It's just like the trailers were. All these trailers are like super dark, and I think they're doing it on purpose. I don't think the episode's going to be this dark. I think they're purposely doing this. I'm sure if you like lit this up, you'd see more. But I think they're compensating some stuff here.
Yeah. No, Sammy, I didn't. I figured me against HBO, they would probably win. So
we can beat them.
I let it be. I don't the VOD's still on Mixer, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, that's okay. They can have that one. We'll see. I tried different things. We're not playing the preview. I'm not going to play it from start to finish like I did last week. And I didn't play the Game of Thrones like music throughout the stream, so we'll see if they ding me for this one. Anyway. So yeah, we got, this is just the Unsullied, right, that we're looking at, so you get a good idea of how many of them there were. And I think it starts to give us a few other views of how the lineup kind of went. You see the Unsullied, you see their, their, what do you call those things, the little launchers?
Trebuchets.
Yeah. And then in front of them, we got the Dothraki as well. So just kind of showing how they're preparing. Good shot of this guy. I always forget his name.
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm, that's right. Thank you. He's gonna die.
Yeah, you're right. He had a scene talking about going to her home. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You don't want to talk about that kind of stuff because you're definitely gonna die. I think they both may. I think more likely him than her, but maybe both. Maybe both. I don't know. And then you got Jon and Dany up on a hill looking kind of down at this. So at some point they must have got on a dragon and got a bird's eye view or something, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, I mean, where the dragons at? Oh, like, it's like, can you whistle them and they come? How's it work?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, can we just talk about the 5-second screen time that Ghost finally got?
Oh, yeah.
Mkbean at the same time.
Yeah.
Jinx. Yeah, exactly. Right. Seriously, glad to see him back. He was not in the entire season last year. And we just, hey, there's this, direwolf behind me for a few seconds. Nothing to worry about. Haven't seen him in, a year, in 2 years.
Yeah. It's like a little Easter egg. Like, oh, what's he doing there? Okay.
He better be tearing up some people in the next episode.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's keep going here. We got
Sam.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna. I mean, he gave away his sword, so what's he gonna do?
I don't know, man. Exactly. What is he gonna do? I mean, I love.
He's gonna throw a book at him or something. I don't know. All right, got Sansa and Arya looking.
Arya looks kind of happy. She's like, "Ooh, look at them."
She's like,
Sansa's
finally,
a little more.
finally some action.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she already had some action, but different kind. Yeah, there's just flashes. All this preview was just flash,
Yeah.
flash,
And,
flash,
and,
flash.
and you know, this is like literally the first. That's it. That's all it is. The first 15 minutes of it, because there's no real action.
Yeah, you got the people down in the crypt, right? And I think
Varys. That's hilarious.
yeah. And then is that Gilly there? And then the little girl. I can't
Gilly's
tell.
in there. Yep. Gilly's in there
girl.
somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see what else we got. Tyrion just looking all smug and smart, right? I don't know.
Yep.
They didn't really give us much, did they?
He's going to be in the crypts too, didn't she? She wanted him in the crypts as well.
Yeah, and I guess you can kind of tell, right, by what's going on here. Looks like there he is.
Good old Jorah.
He's out there on the battlefield. It's dark outside. You can kind of see the castle behind him. So yeah, he's out there ready to rock and or roll. What else we got? Oh, John's getting in the mix.
Yeah.
He looks a little afraid.
Yeah. Got some fire behind him, some type of action behind him there.
Might be overwhelmed with what's about to happen.
That's what I thought too, McDean. I thought, potentially. I think this is kind of toward the end scene between the Night King and Jon. I think this is the face-off right here. Yep.
Here's a good shot of all the armies. Looks like we got the Unsullied, and then we got the Dothraki, and then the Northern folk, I suppose.
Yeah, somebody could be the folks from the Vale. Who knows? It's everybody.
We'll keep going. Arya.
Oh yeah, the Arya scene. I love this. She's running away from something. Something's happening. Gosh, I cannot wait.
Maybe she's running towards a battle. I don't know.
Yeah. I think she's luring somebody.
Maybe. But can't really tell. It's so dark. Can't really tell if she's even got a weapon. I think she still has her dagger there, but I don't really see if she's got. I was looking at this. I was freeze framed it before we started, and I was like, I wonder if we're gonna see that weapon, that she had made.
Oh, we're definitely gonna see.
But you don't see any of it here, so it's kind of a bummer. Hopefully she didn't lose it. Unsullied going, and then
Is that the Hound?
it does kind of look like it's the Hound, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
the fire sword guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally lights something up when it's dark. Excellent, thanks.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, you got a torch. What's this? This a dragon? What is this here?
No.
It looks like a dragon's mouth right there. Yeah, it is. That's a dragon.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see it now. Yeah. So there we get a chance to see the dragon. I can't see who's riding it. Somebody's riding it. It does not look like the Night King. So this might be either Jon or Dany. You think?
Could be Bruce. I don't know.
Well, let's see.
Oh, wait, go back.
If we get the right.
That might be
frame.
Jon. That might be Jon. Bran.
Yeah.
I can't be Bran on there holding on for dear life.
It's really hard to tell, but I think that I don't know, these dragons, right? Are they just stirring up all the snow so the whole scene's gonna just be like a blizzard? I don't know. That's kind of what it kind of looks like, right? Look at how much is just foggy.
Yep.
Oh, we got some.
Who's this? Who's that? Oh, is that Theon?
It kind of looks like Theon, yeah.
Yeah, that's Theon. Yep.
And he's got. Are these these are dragon glass on fire?
I'm sure.
I think.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna do some damage.
Yep.
Cool.
He was excellent with the bow, so it's good
That's
to see
right.
him getting that back.
Yep. Oh, Jon.
There we go.
There.
Now he is in the guy. Sure.
Oh yeah, look, he's got the tree behind him.
Yep. Look at him pulling the sword out. Long claws coming out. Oh man. This is going to be great.
I can't wait. This is gonna be like the most epic battle ever.
I would, yeah, that starts coming out. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So they get like, is this before the thing breaks out or after?
Yeah, it's got to be before.
It's got to be before. Yeah.
Yep.
Is that their kiss goodbye? Or...
Yeah, there's Brienne.
Brienne leading them into battle here.
Yep.
It's great. Now, do you think at this point, like, does everybody know she's a knight? Like, does that get announced to everybody? Like, in the midst of war? Oh, by the way, she's a knight now.
She's a knight. You know what? I don't know. Some people might be like, I'm not going to listen to this chick. Some stupid guy. And Jamie's going to be like, she's a knight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gives her that public recognition.
Yeah, I agree she doesn't need it. But you know how some people are, so.
Well, she also said she didn't want to be a knight, so. Yeah, it might be nice. It might be nice to, like, publicly give her that recognition, She deserves it, for sure.
Yep.
And that's all we get. I love this graphic, though, right here.
Oh, that is very nice. Oh, It's a dragon.
Yeah, it's a dragon in the throne. Really cool. I thought about stealing this for my background of the stream.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to go back to a slide.
Oh, okay. Predictions. Okay, here we go.
I've got a piece of paper here. It's called Notepad. And we're gonna go down this list here. Okay.
Okay, hold on. My hotkeys are doing more than they should be.
Oh my goodness, getting a little crazy. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm going to say a name, okay? I'm going to say a name. I don't want a response from you, Impulse. I'll let you know what I think. Chat it up.
You may have to remind me who the person is also.
Okay. Tyrion Lannister.
He's going to live.
Yeah. Good. Everyone thinks the same thing. Yep, absolutely. He's got to live. I agree.
He's got the character shield. Person. Yep.
Okay, let me get this going here. Okay, next person. Yeah, for now, exactly. Jaime Lannister.
Who's
Jamie?
That? Oh.
Jamie.
Wait,
come on, man. We're from Arizona. We're from the Southwest. Come on.
Is this the one that's inside of Cersei? No. Well, I guess that makes sense too. Anyway. Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, you say yes. This is so. I'm going with the chat. It's about 50-50. I'm saying he dies. So
really,
yeah, yep. So you say lives, I say dies. All right.
Ooh. Right. Too soon. Too soon. There's still a lot of time left in the season. Yeah, exactly. They got to have the confrontation with Bran, and so him and Tyrion need to still be alive when Bran comes in, so that all gets rectified, right? And this is where I think Bran's going to actually side with the brothers. So I'm gonna. That's why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking.
That is a good point. I'm changing my answer. You've convinced me. I'm changing my answer.
Nice.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
Somebody should keep track of this, so
I've got it.
Over.
I've got it.
All right,
I've got it.
Keep track. All right, good.
Yep. Okay. Dany.
Oh yeah, she's safe. She'll live.
Okay. By the way, so far everyone is living. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to something. Yeah.
I know. We'll get to the minor.
There'll be plenty.
Yep. Okay, we'll just go right on down, which is going to be another lives, and that's going to be Jon.
Jon. Yep. I assume so.
Okay, man. See, this is a lot of people right here. We've got right now 4 people alive: Tyrion, Jamie, Dany. I know.
There's still like 6 hours left in the season.
The list that I have here, obviously, it's from this screen right here, but I'm also pulling directly from IMDb from the episode. So, Sansa Stark.
Oh man, I'm gonna say lives, but I'm just thinking like if the show really wants to do one over on us, they would kill her, right? Yeah, I think she's gonna live.
Yeah, I think I'm with Evil there. I think she has to be the Steward of the North or whatever. She basically is going to be the Lady of and never get married. Arya.
Ooh. Oh man. I'm on the fence on this one. Chat's mostly saying live, but
There's a few die in there. It's
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll say lives, but I really think she could easily die in this episode.
Yep. Okay.
They gotta have one or two big names that are afforded a death here, and if they're gonna do that, I would say Arya would be the one.
Maybe this one.
Oh, the next
Davos Seaworth.
Yeah, I think he'll die. Yeah.
You think he's gonna die? All right. I think he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he really had a goodbye.
What do they say? Nice guys finish last. I mean,
I'm saying he lives as well. I'm saying Davos is my guy. Okay, he is my guy. The Onion Knight is. I'm crying about it right now, thinking about it. A little emotional. Okay, Missandei.
Oh, we talked about this. I think her homeboy's
talking about
die.
Missandei. Yeah, we're talking about Missandei though.
I think because they specifically said what they wanted to do after this was over, I think they're both going to die.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
They're both goners.
That was a setup for them to die. Mm-hmm.
Another easy one here, I believe. Theon's
gonna die.
Yep.
But he's gonna go down. He's gonna have his redemption before he dies, for sure. He's gonna do something that was like the reason why they pull out of the winners of this battle. And
Dean and Mr. Graff think he's going to live, though. What are you guys thinking? Why do you think Theon is going to live? That's what I want to know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? You got to go against the crowd.
He's over
just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right. Gendry.
What do you say? I'd say live on that one. I think there's
Gendry. Yep. He's living for me as well.
I did. Yeah. Okay. I said Arya was gonna live, right? You put me down as a live on that one.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll say live as well.
Okay. Bran Stark. I guess we should call him the Three-Eyed Raven because Bran's dead.
Not this episode.
He's going to live this episode, you're saying then?
Yeah. I think, he won't make it to the end of the season, of course, but I think this one he gets through. By the skin of his teeth. But it's coming soon for him, I think.
I think he dies. And I think he dies like of an injury, not like, he's just dead and that's it. I think it's like he may not die this episode, but it's going to die from some type of injury early on in the next episode, or he dies in this episode, but I think he dies. So I'm going to say he dies. Let's see here. Samwell Tarly. He doesn't have a sword to fight with. He was the first man to kill a White Walker. He survived the...
He didn't really have a scene that led me to believe he was going to die this episode.
Comes the new Three-Eyed Raven. I hate all of you that say he dies, okay? He lives.
I think Sam's going to live too.
I wonder if this is how Dan and DB did this as well. If they just kind of sat and said, hey, let's go down the list of characters. Who's going to live and who's going to die? Or they just flipped a coin. That's what George does, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Gilly.
She's in the crypt. I think everybody in the crypt is going to live.
I think some people will die in the crypt, but I think she's going to live.
You think so?
Well, it's going to be interesting, right? Will the dead that are buried there come to life? Of course, they have iron swords on them, and the Starks have always done that, and that probably prevents them from coming to life. But there was a few that were taken early. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It's more of a book thing, I think. No, it doesn't hurt them, but it's just what they did. The Starks always put their kings or whoever. They put them there, and then they always put an iron sword over them and a direwolf statue next to them. So I think it'll be interesting to see. Brienne of Tarth. Sir Brienne of Tarth?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna say dies.
Yeah, me
She
too,
might be the big
unfortunately.
one. She might be the one that's like, oh man, that one hurt a lot. But yeah, exactly is what I'm feeling. Is she dies a happy woman, right? What we saw, that sheer happiness that she got last episode by being knighted, it's okay. Like as an audience, we can let her go because we know she died happy. So
Yep.
I can see that she's gonna go out there, she's gonna tear it up, but ultimately, I think she's gonna die.
Yep. Varys, the spider. I think
He's in the
he's
crypt. I say he lives.
Yep, exactly. Sander the Hound Clegane.
Man, that guy lives through everything, right? So I'm gonna say he lives.
Yeah, he has to live.
Yeah.
Exactly, evil. He has to live.
Yep.
Clegane Bowl has to happen. Exactly. That's why he lives.
Makes sense.
The other big guy, Tormund Giantsbane.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he dies.
Yeah, me too.
And I got a feeling it's gonna have something to do with Brienne. Maybe he sees she's in trouble, he tries to come to her rescue, and he dies because of it. I don't know.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of honorable deaths. I don't think any of these characters are going to die with an arrow. I think you're going to have some really good stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
Grey Worm.
He's dead.
Is that him? He's poor guy.
100%. I almost bet money on that. Like, sorry, guy.
Yep. Jorah Mormont.
I think he's gonna die.
Yeah, me too.
I just wonder what's gonna happen with the sword now. Like, is Sam gonna have to go find it in the battlefield after? You know, he's gonna go having to pick through the dead people to find the sword that he gave him. You know, I don't know.
It's gonna be pretty nasty, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. Beric Dondarrion, Fire Sword
guy. He could die. I don't see any reason for him to keep living.
Yep, that's what I say too. There's no reason. He's a goner.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody saying he's living? Nope. Okay. Ediston Tullett, the commander of the Night's Watch, Jon's friend.
Oh, right. Yeah, he can probably die.
Yep, he's gonna die. All right. Podrick Payne.
I'm gonna say lives.
Really? All right. I think he dies.
I don't think there's a lot of reason to keep him around, but for some reason my gut tells me he's gonna live.
Okay. I think he's gonna die. Lyanna Mormont.
She's gonna die.
Yep. And then the last character I have here is Jon Royce. He's the one from Erie. He's with the armor on.
Oh, yeah, he's probably gonna die, I suppose.
Yeah, there's no reason for him.
Yeah,
there's no reason for him to live.
Yeah. So basically, my wild card there is Pod. Out of all the ones that like could easily die, you know, Pod would be in that mix. But I just got a gut feeling that he's gonna survive. Yeah. So I'll take that as my, you know, my wild card to help me, you know, get that one up if I'm right, win this little competition we got going here.
Let's see here. Okay, I got this all taken care of.
Did you ask about Tyrion? You didn't, but he was in the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
He was the first one we did.
Okay, so
we agreed on everything except for 3 people. So this is good. So there will be a victor.
All right. What were the 3 people that we had?
Davos. I said he was going to live. You said he.
Okay.
Bran. I said he's going to die. You said he's going to.
Okay.
And then Pod. You said he's going to live.
I know.
I say he's going to die.
He's my wild card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dead. Dead. Okay.
We'll find out. So I'm wondering if the Night King's even with them.
They didn't show him there, right?
They didn't show him. They didn't show him at all. And he's
riding. Why they didn't show
him?
He's
riding a dragon, right?
Yes. He got to show up. He's on a dragon.
Yeah. So you would see him big time in every shot, he's on a dragon. You can't miss it.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe he didn't show up. Right? What
He's
they
coming
say
in at the end. He's got to fly in.
What's Jon's plan? Right? Jon's plan's take him out. That takes everybody out. Right? That's their strategy. Well, maybe he's smart. Night's King's smart. Too smart for that. He's not even going to put himself in harm's way. He's got a dragon. He can go do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's there.
Dino. Maybe he goes down to King's Landing, takes care of business there.
Yeah, just wipes them out. Turns them all into White Walkers down there, and then they sandwich the whole place.
Yep. It takes 2 more episodes for them all to walk up there.
Yeah. Next 2 episodes is just them walking.
That's all it is.
Hour and a half, almost 2-hour episodes just walking. Just walking.
Yep. That would suck.
No, I mean, they could, like, get on a bus and the dragon could drag it, through the air or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
They get on the struggle bus.
Struggle bus.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Night King actually didn't show up to this battle. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I just think that there has to be some big twist, right? It can't go down like they think it's going to go down. Like
it never does. No battle does.
He's going to come in after Bran. I mean, there was even a comment in the show about thinking you know more than you do or whatever, right? And I felt like maybe that was the jab at Bran for thinking he knew the Night King was going to come after him, and maybe he's actually not, right? That's the spin on that. So,
Leatherneck Loki's got an interesting thing. He says Bran's going to bring the ballista and help against the ice dragon. I would be 100% on board with that, but it is a very, very long distance between King's Landing and Winterfell. Now I know they're travel at warp speed, right? But still, I think if there was a little bit more time, I think for sure that would happen. He made 30 seconds, man. He did all off season. It was like 2 years between episodes.
That's what he's doing the whole time, just riding
the entire time. So it's gonna take us another 2 seasons for him to get up. No, but I think that'd be great, right? If Bronn shows up. If Bronn shows up, there is no concept of like distance in the show anymore. There wasn't last season, but still, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. So yeah, there we go. We got our predictions. We'll see. It's gonna be. I think that's gonna be fun to recap that next week.
Send that to you right.
Who was right?
Now.
Who was wrong? Nice. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. I seriously, I cannot wait for this episode. This is. I don't think I remember ever looking forward to an episode this much. I mean, I always look forward to them, of course, but like this one, I'm just like, I want it now.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 2 big things this season. There's this battle, and after battle, right? There's the rest of the battle for Westeros, and so you're gonna lose half the people in this slide right here, this picture.
At least.
And what that means, though, more people are going to die.
Yep.
More people are going. If half these people are dead, probably half of the remaining are going to die. Episodes.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, one last thing to talk about. Whatever happened to the red woman? Isn't she supposed to do something and show up with something? And she went.
That's what she said, right? Yeah, she said that. She said she was going to come back. She went to Volantis, I believe. Exactly. She's meant to die in these lands. And the last time her and Arya saw each other was when she took Arya's little boy toy. She said that this isn't the last we're going to see of each other. So, yeah. So she's coming back.
Do you think she'll make her return like during this battle and have some kind of impact?
Yeah. I don't know. Look at that. Doomsquish is saying the army of Roller. Maybe. Who knows? That'd be interesting, right?
Right?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they're the difference makers. They roll in last second when everything looks doom and gloom, and then boom, they win it.
Never.
Could be.
No. Yeah. If Jon dies, how's he going to get back to life?
I think we may see her. I think we may see her this episode.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like they said, though, right? Jon banned her from the north. Man.
Well,
Can we like time travel a week now, please?
he'll take every fighter he can get, right? Took Jamie.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
he may slash unban her.
Nice.
Oh. All right. Well, I think that's all the
bad.
material we got. Now it's all just we can all ponder all of our little theories, and then nothing to do but wait and find out what happens next week. And of course, next week's recap stream is going to be back full force. I think Skizzleman should be back, and we'll have.
He'll be a little tanner
Yeah.
or bright red like a lobster.
Maybe, yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Definitely looking forward to it. So all right, let's find somebody to raid. I think it would be good to do that. It's a decent time. Let's see who's streaming. Mods, feel free to look as well. See if we can find somebody good. I mean, we're going from a web show, so it doesn't really matter what games or anything people are playing. Let me see if anybody I'm following is on. You know what? My good friend Carzy is streaming, it looks like. How about we raid Carzy? Carzy's awesome. Let me get the link going for Carzy here. There's that. Raid. Wait, I don't know. How do I do this? Raid. Ah, there you go. Raid Carzy. Let her know I sent you. I might stop over and say hi in a second if I can. But, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, mods. As usual, you guys are the best. Everybody for their amazing support. And we'll see you next time.
See you later.